Good evening, and welcome to yet another MindShift Monday where we talk family, finances, and just about whatever you guys want to talk about. Leave a comment in that comment section below, and we always check those out, always read them, love to get them, and we have had some comments now, and it's just good for that interaction. So, also another thing we're going to try is this here and now live video for MindShift Monday. We've done only one previous to this around Christmas time, but this might be just a really good way of being able to be right with our audience and for you guys to be a part of what's going on here on MindShift Monday. But this is really exciting what we're going to go over this week as well as next week on MindShift Monday. And for those of you who don't have kids, there's probably really no reason for you to watch the next two ones. But I think our audience mainly are people with kids or have had kids that might be a little bit older. We have younger kids, but this will definitely pertain to all of you. So it's exciting, and we're talking about kids, and we're talking about their finances, and we're wanting to raise kids that are able to react to how to make money, how to use money, and do all those things well. So what we're going to talk about today specifically is, are you giving your kids a weekly allowance, or are you giving your kids a commission? So do you want to talk a little bit about the difference between an allowance and a commission?
Yeah, I would say a commission is something that is based on work that you've done. And allowance is just kind of like, here you go, here's $50 for just being a child, or just being in our household. You just get money because you're just existing. And I think why we have gone the commission route is because that's really how the world should be. It's not always. It should be that if you work, you get paid. If you don't work, you don't get paid. I know there's a lot of differing opinions on that, the way that the government just wants to set it up so that people live off of them or don't succeed and don't want to better themselves. But we want kids that are self-sufficient. We want go-getters. We want kiddos that are seeing that when you work hard, you get rewarded. And if you don't work hard, you don't get paid. We don't just give them money like an allowance would be just because they breathe and take up space.
Yeah, and what happened, so we started the allowance route with our oldest, and what happened there was he had a few jobs, like I think he had to make his bed, help with some dishes, things of that nature, and throughout the week we weren't always really sure, like, I don't know that we always kept a really good track of, are you really doing all of these chores exactly, and we came back to, like, which chores should you do just because you're a part of our family, and which chores should you get paid for? And at the end of the week, it was always just, okay, well, here's your $5 for this week because you did help out, and we're just going to give it to you. But like Bethany said, that's really not the way that the workforce is, and I guess it can be, but what you get are what we're almost raising our kids to be in that particular way is kids that are going to do the absolute minimum, but they're always going to expect the $5 at the end of the week, or that salary at the end of each 2 weeks, or however they get paid later on. They're just going to do the minimum. But a commission, if we start our kids very young on a commission-based way to making money, I think it's great for them to make their own money, to make those decisions on how to spend it, to be able to show them how to save, and also how to give their money away. So I think it is very, very important to be able to allow your kids to make their own money. But what we're teaching them with the commission-based is, you can see up over here, we do have a little board that's magnetic, and Bethany has written out jobs on little pieces of paper. And what we do is we have a magnet, they stick to the board, and they can pull off the board the job that they want to do. They own that job, they go do that job, and they come back and say, hey mom, I got this job done. And on the piece of paper it says that maybe that job is worth 20 cents. And then you're free to either pay them after each and every day. You're free to pay them after each and every job. I wouldn't let it go past a week.
I mean, what I've found, I feel like it's more getting to this, is that kids want to see that money right away.
Yeah.
And I think if you wait, because our kids are little, our kids are 7, 5, and 3. This is different if your kids are 10 and up or whatever. But I think, and also something, instead of saying like $1 where we just hand them a dollar bill, sometimes 4 quarters means a lot to a little person versus $1 bill. That's only 1 versus 4 items, But I think I'm starting to get into the habit because I don't want to forget as well.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that you want to drill, we're not making our kids work 8-hour days. We're not, it's just the fact that when they work hard, they get the reward. And so it's not necessarily about the amount. Don't overthink this too. Sometimes we can overthink it and have all these fancy charts and all this, but I think when you just keep it really simple, and actually have it tangible, like when they did that job, I try to go to that quarter, our little change jar right away. And then we have 3 little pint-sized jars that they have, as each kid has their own. And it's right in the kitchen, so that way I say, okay, here's your quarter. You empty the dishwasher, here's your 50 cents. They can put it in their quarter jar right away, or their little money jar right away.
Yeah, so if you have young kids, it does need to be right away. It can be at the end of the day or whatever, but they really need to be able to see that I did this job, I got it done, I got paid, and that's really huge. So
I think that's also a sense of dignity and pride too, where I think it's lost in our society, is that people don't have that sense of like ownership over something, an accomplishment, and just like, I did something and I got rewarded for it and I got that attaboy. And I think just really chalk it up like, I'm really proud of you. You started that dishwasher and you finished it like without complaining, and you did really well. Like you put all the dishes away where they were, just, this is a time to just like monkey see, monkey do. Like if you want something repeated, you should really make a big deal about it. And because sometimes we can focus so much on what they're not doing right as children. Like, no, you can't have candy. No, you can't have this. No, you can't do this. And so I think when they have that affirmation in a positive way, they're more apt to want to get those attaboys from their boss later down the road and just work hard, and just work as unto the Lord too, ultimately.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what our family does. We do the commission based. We don't just basically pay them for living and being our children. And those are the reasons why we think that is such a big deal. Another thing is we do allow our kids to give, save, and spend. So they have, out of all of that money at the end of each week, they tithe the 10% to the church. That's something that we've decided as a family that we're going to do. They have a percentage that they save, and then we also have a percentage that they're able to take from that and spend on that's their desires, their wants, what they want to do with it. And then we also, about once a month, we also have a time where they're able to take that money that they've chosen to spend, and then we give them the opportunity to go ahead and spend that money. So that's important too, all of those things. This is just kind of an overview of what our family's doing. I'm going to, for the next MindShift Monday, I'm going to show you the exact, the kids are actually going to do MindShift Monday with me, and we're going to go through it step by step. But be thinking about, what are you doing right now with your kids, whether they're younger or older, it doesn't really matter. Are you just allowing them to receive money from you every week just because, or are you actually paying them because they're doing jobs around the house? And they're also, with the commission base, there are 2 types of jobs. There are jobs that they don't necessarily get paid for. They're a part of our family, so this is what they get, and then they have to do those jobs. And then there are also jobs that are for the board, and they understand that they're worth, it says right on the slip how much they're worth. They take that, they do the job, and then they get paid. Another thing that you'll find is your kids do like to do chores, and they wanna get that money, and you're teaching them a great lesson out of that. That's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really all we have for this Monday. And let us know in the comments, let us know, are you doing an allowance or are you doing commission type payment. And also, um, let us know if you enjoyed the live stream, and if so, we try to do it. We tried it because it was a live stream. We tried to do it later in the evening, so maybe more people could jump on that. But let us know what you think about that too. What times would work best for everybody to be a part. We're thankful for all the people that were able to watch the last MindShift Monday and be a part of that. That really got more watches than the other ones, and so we really struck a chord there with the life insurance, and that is a huge deal, and I hope that people did take that to heart. So anyways, thanks for joining us this week on MindShift Monday. Make sure to join us next week as we really go in depth, step by step, how we do this with our kids, and it'll be fun to do that with them. So that's all for now. We'll see you next week on MindShift Monday. Thanks so much.